Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I haven't made anything on here for a long time, but I'm going to try to start doing it. So today we're going to install Arch Linux on a Synology NAS. The NAS we're using today is a DS923 Plus, but everything in this video should just work right along with whatever Synology NAS you have. But anyway, let's start going. So you can create a virtual machine on your Synology NAS. It has the down here you can see at the bottom here, down there, there's the virtual machine manager. And I'm going to make myself a little bit smaller so we can get going in here. Get down out of the way. So you can see that there's the virtual machine manager right here. When you bring that up, it brings this window. I already have a couple here. Buddy is a Ubuntu 2204, and Archie is the latest Arch, which I just installed today. Yeah, so we're going to install another one. So here's what we do. First thing we want to do is download Arch Linux. So we start out at linux.org, go to the Download Linux page, click on Download Arch. That'll bring you to their downloads page on their site. Recommended is the BitTorrent. So just click on the magnet link, and that should open up whatever your default is. So for me, it's QBitTorrent, which is there. So now you can see that it's running, downloading. Shouldn't take too long. Looks like it's just under a gig. It's like 824 megs. So this is a live install. I'm going to cut out here and we'll be right back once it's finished. All right, it finished. We're going to be nice people and just let that seed for a little while. Just let me get that off the screen here. Doot, 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 doot. There it goes. All right. So now let's go back to what we're headed up to here. Go back to the Synology. We're going to go, actually, you know what we got to do? We got to move it so it's somewhere. Move it somewhere in your shared files or somewhere on your drive so you can see it, which I've already done. So I'm going to skip that step. I'm assuming you know how to do that. Because when we go to create, we're going to pick Linux next. Storage, it's going to be the storage that's on our Synology NAS, which mine's named Center. Alright, so the name on this guy, we're going to name him Archie, A-R-C-H-I-E. We're going to give it 8 gigs of memory. I have 32 on there. It's going to be fine with 4. It'll be fine probably with 2. Video card, I always dumb it down to the VGA. Normal priority. Disk, I'm going to give it 250 gigs. Default VM network. Alright, now this is where you want to find your ISO you just grabbed. So mine's in Files, Stuff, Arch Linux. Additional, no. Auto start, no. Well, auto start you can put to last state. Keyboard layout, everything you're just going to leave. Legacy BIOS, all that, just leave it. Local users, I'm going to let Rob play with it. This is just all the settings. You can click this or you don't have to. Power on the virtual machine after creation. So that's going to power on here. And it says it's running. We'll go ahead and click on connect. cheat sheet over here. I'm putting off to the side. Basically, everything we're going to follow is from this installation guide from Arch Linux, although there's some things that require a little bit of extra. So that's why I made the video. So it's rolling up. All right. We are now at the ISO boot. We're going to, yeah, we're good. We're going to verify internet. That should work fine since you have probably the same setup I have. We're going to update the system clock. Time date CTL status. You can see that's working. Now what we're going to do is we should see that 250 gig drive. So fdisk minus L to list the disks. So we see dev STA is right there. So we're going to go ahead and modify that with fdisk. So as you can see at the bottom of the screen there, nothing is there. P for print shows nothing. So N for new, P for primary. We're going to start it on 1, enter, or we're going to partition number 1. We're just going to hit enter for the first sector, enter for the last sector, and it's there. Print it, P for print, you can see it's there, W for write, and now it's there. Now we're going to create the file system. mkfs.ext4/dev SDA1. Enter. That was quick because it's only 250 gigs. Let's see, now we're going to go ahead and mount that. So we're going to mount /dev SDA1 /MNT. And I'll link that, the main installation guide from Arch, and I'll also put all my notes, just the straight code stuff, down below in the description as well, if you want to follow along. So now that that's mounted, we want to check the mirrors. All right, so we want to select the mirrors we're going to use. It's in etc pacman.d mirror list, and they're all uncommented. So it's going to, go for the top one and go down if it can't reach it. Priority number 1 for the first, and then as it goes down. So now we want to install the essential packages. On their installation guide, they say to install base, Linux, and Linux firmware. Then you also want to install a text editor and maybe some other stuff at this point as well. So let's go ahead and install, we'll do pack strap minus capital K, install it and mount. We got base, Linux, Linux-firmware. We're also going to do Vim. We're also going to do grub at this point. So this will take a minute. We'll be right back. All right, that finished up. It only took a couple minutes. So now what we're going to do is we are going to generate the FS tab, file system table. With that, we're going to write, we're going to write it. We're going to type in gen fs tab -u /mnt. So it's basically saying, hey, you see we already have /mnt mounted. Take that same configuration and put it in /mnt /etc/fs tab. Like that. All right. So we've reached a kind of a milestone here. So you see what's going on, right? We have the NAS, and we're in this kind of this virtual terminal inside the NAS, booted upon that ISO disk, the ISO file, right? So we're actually on the ISO file, looking over at this mount. and we're like, all right, I'm going to modify these things so it can be an actual system. So we did a couple things on there. We installed the base system on there. We installed Vim, Grub. We generated the file system table at CFS tab. So now that that's all done, we can hop on there and pretend like that's our root file system, right? So we're going to chroot or chroot, however you want to say it. We're going to enter that now. So we're going to do arch-chroot space/mnt. So we're saying, hey, I'm done being on this ISO island. I'm ready to jump into the new system I just created. Hit enter. Now we're there. So if we do a pwd, we're at the top. We're at the root file system, the root directory of the file system. Do an ls, you can see everything's there. Bin, boot, dev, home, all that. So now we're actually on our new system. It's not ready to go yet, but we're on it. So let's just, we got to keep doing a couple things here. We're going to set the time zone. All right, and I live on the East Coast, so I'm going to set mine, oops, ln-sf. I can't type it and say the same things I'm typing. Let's start over. ln-sf user share zone info /America, and once you start typing it, you can hit tab and it should finish it out for you. NEW tab key New York, and I'm going to symlink that to /etc local time, enter. So if we cat etc local time, or if we etc local time, there, you can see it's pointing to America, New York. Next we're going to run HW clock to set etc adjust time, ADJ time, and that's just HW clock --SYSTOHC. All right, next on the list, we're going to edit locale.gen. Let's see, locale.gen. And in here, we're going to search for en_US. And there it is there. So we're just going to uncomment that. I don't know what yours is. That's mine. You can pick the same if you speak English and you're good with that. And UTF-8, I never understood. But that's what we're checking. That's what we're using. And now we're going to run locale.gen. Oh, dash. There it is. Generation complete. Now we're going to edit /create etc locale.conf. And in there we're going to go ling equals en_us dot UTF-8. And in Vim, I don't know if you're a user of it. You hit I to start typing, put it in insert mode. Once you're done typing, hit escape. And then to save, I always just do Shift ZZ. And you see some people when they're doing these videos, they type clear and it clears the terminal. But you don't have to do that. Just type Control L. It clears it. You don't have to type out clear. All right, next. We're going to edit create etc hostname. And this guy's name, Archie, A-R-C-H-I-E, like Archie Bunker. Now we're going to set root's password. That's just the PASSWD command. Now we're going to set up grub. Grub install /dev SDA. So we want it installed on our drive that we're on. Boop. I can hear my NAS bugging along here. You hear it? So that's going to take a minute. If you haven't already, hit the thumbs up down below. It really, really helps the channel. You can do it now while we're waiting for this to finish. You could even put like a little comment in there like, hey Rob, this Arch install is going great so far. You should also go to linux.org and make sure you're signed up in case you have any questions. There's an Arch section there. Oh, it's done. All right, next step. So we installed it on the drive. Now we're gonna make the config grub-mk config-o/boot/grub/grub.cfg. Boop. It's going. Boom, it's done. Let's see. Now, let's go ahead and set up the network so that's working when we reboot. Well, maybe we'll do that after. So IP space A shows all the network stuff, and we are connected currently. So let's wait. Let's go ahead and reboot it. And then once it reboots, we'll go ahead and set up the network. Do we want to, well, I'll do that other stuff later too. We're going to install a regular user. Do we add sudo? I don't know, sudo? All right, let's go ahead and reboot. So at this point, we just type exit. So now we exited the chroot. So from here, let's go ahead and umount/mount. Boop. And we do a shutdown. That's R now. R for reboot. You could also just type reboot. Whoop, what? Here it comes. Oh, I was about to hit enter. There we are. So login as root. Boom, we're there. So let's see if the network's working. Nope. All right, so we got to do a couple things. All right, so we see ENS3 is our network device. We don't care about LO, loopback. So ENS3 is our loopback device. So let's create etc systemd network. We're going to name it ENS3.network. Here we're going to go match name equals ENS3, and then we're going to use DHCP here. Network DHCP equals yes please. All right, so now we can probably system control restart system d-network d. Now let's try pinging something. Nope, we ping 8888. Yeah, so now let's look at, let's see, resolve.conf. That has nothing in it. So let's go ahead and put a name server. Boom. Now works. So after setting up that ENS3.network file, we actually had internet. We could have pinged 8888. but we couldn't do any lookups because the resolve.conf was empty, so it didn't know what name server to use. So added in 8888, you can add whatever name servers you want. You might even have Pi-hole set up on your NAS. You could use that. So that's done. So let's just add a regular user real quick. User add, I think it's -m, Rob. Boop. The -m will create the home directory for you. But Rob needs a password. Password Rob. Doot, 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 doot. Woo! You know what we also need? We need an OpenSSH installed for the SSH server. So we need to pacman -s, capital SY, to kind of synchronize everything. Pacman -s, OpenSSH. So that'll be the client and the server, I guess. It's the server at least. System CTL start SSHD. System CTL enable SSHD. That'll make it so it starts on boot. Let's see, hold on. Let's do netstat. Netstat's not installed. Okay, I'm back. Looks like we need to install NetTools. Boom, there it is. Alright, so if we're listening, we can see port 22 is open and listening. That's all it's opening right now. So now we can get in from another server or another computer on our system here. Next, we want to make sure Rob can use sudo to go up to root. By sudo command not found. Pacman -s sudo. There's really not much installed in these base systems, huh? So the default editor is vi, but it's not installed. User bin vim, user bin vi. So now we just basically put a symlink to vi pointing over to vim. Really? User. Oh, see what I did? I said vin instead of vim. So let's get rid of that thing. Oh, I see. I'm dumb. Yeah, we'll go back to this up arrow. Now, boom. All right, so Shift G gets us all the way to the bottom. And right before the bottom here, we'll enter in, let's see where we're at. I always forget. Here it is. Rob, tab key, all equals no password, colon, all. Yay. So let's exit out. Rob. Boom. Boom. So now Rob doesn't need a password for to do root stuff. Yeah, that's about it. So, any questions? Comment down below. If they're technical stuff, go to linux.org and go into the Arch section. I run that, and I'm always there. So go ahead and do that. So if you're not on linux.org yet, go there. I'll put a link down below to linux.org, although I'm saying it, linux.org. You can just go there. yeah, again, thumbs up on the video, and we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.